Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stan's Cutlery Universe. And today, I'm doing a response to Patty Potato Peelers uh, Saturday Ramble yesterday. That would have been August 9th, 2025, about what's your collecting style. And man, Stephen really made me think. I kind of joked yesterday that my collecting style is kind of eclectic. And in a lot of ways it is, but it's also definitely matured over the time that I've had collecting. And so here it is. I got a potpourri of everything. I if it's got a blade, I pretty much like it. I think I'll start off first with basically like the knives that started it out for me, and that was anything that was in frostwood, because back in the 80s, that was what you could afford as a kid. Made in Pakistan. Sometimes you'd get one made in China, or not China, but Japan. And they had the build qualities from really, really good, like this one, to really, really poor. This is a Frost Cutlery. I don't know when it was made for sure, but it is a Pakistan, 440 Pakistan. Um, Frostwood looks like be a very well built knife. It feels to be a very well built knife. And, to this day, I still like Packawood. I still like the Frostwood here. I actually have a collection of Frostwood knives. Is it a throwback to, when I was a kid and that's what it was? Yeah, probably is. Then the next one was, the Rambo. This is a cheap Chinese made Rambo First Blood knife. Gonna put the sheath back there. But when you seen these as a kid, at least here in America, where it was like, oh my gosh, that is the coolest knife ever. Oh man, I got to clean it off. I was hacking some stuff. It actually did a good job. I was really surprised. I want to delve a little further into the Rambo knife collection. There's a couple gentlemen on here that I follow, Donovan too, and oh gosh, I feel horrible. I can't remember the others that are really into Rambo, but like I'm talking like high end, like one of 10, one of 12s. But yeah, as a kid, if you had a Rambo knife, you were king of the walk. It was you were cool. Then this is actually a buck 110, but the next knife was these in Pakistan, but I've kind of moved forward, and I like my buck 110s. I actually have a pretty decent collection of different dates of buck 110s. I'm still working on getting a birth year. Problem is, being 1972, there's not. It's a range of knives for that era, and it's actually a split year, so I'm going to need one with one mark, one with another to make sure I got at least. But this is like, yeah, if you had a buck 110 when I was a kid, you were a king of the walk. If you had the Pakistani buck 110 clone, you were still pretty cool. And like I said, I've kind of moved up now. I still get a few clones every once in a while, but I've moved up to where it's pretty much American made buck knives now. And I have a really decent buck knife collection. I need to show it someday, but that's just going to take time. And then for me, I like I like knives that are kind of like unique patterns. And this Steel Warrior, it's made by Frost. This is called the Choctaw, and it's just a really cool pattern. It looks like it'd be really uncomfortable, but the reality is, man, that fits in your hand just wonderfully. Somebody's shooting somewhere. I just jumping from that, but it fits in your hand just wonderfully. Even though to look at it, you'd be like, oh my gosh, that thing's the most uncomfortable ever. So if it's a unique pattern, I'm probably going to go try and get one of them. And speaking of unique patterns, even though this is a trapper, this is a 5 blade trapper. I'm not going to open all of them because I really like having my fingers, but all the blades are etched. This is, I believe, Pull it. The main blade should probably tell me, and it doesn't. Well, this is a Frost uh, cutlery. You know, show some of the etching. Frost Cutlery brand. I can't remember which one, but it's really cool. 5 blade. And even though it's a trapper pattern, oh, there it should say right there on this blade. If I can get it out. Give me a second off camera. My nails are no good. I'm not going to get it out. It just won't come. But look at that beautiful knife. Look at that beautiful build quality for 5 blades. And it's that tight. That's what gets me sometimes with frost knives. And case, why can't you guys make them all that tight? That's absolutely beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. And then I do enjoy the budget knives. Trappers is my favorite pattern. Trapper is my overall favorite pattern. um, this is a beautiful brown jig bone, brass liners. This is I cannot read that tang stamp to save my life. Maybe I can get it up here enough, get it to where we can read it. Come on. I can't read that tang stamp, but you know, just a beautiful knife, very well made, budget piece. It's made in Pakistan, but it's well made. And it's a nice pocket dropper. You carry it. Listen to that snap. I mean, a good knife is a good knife. I don't care where it's made. And if I like it, I like the aesthetics of this, how it looks, and I like trappers. One of these days, I'm going to have to share my trapper collection too, because I got a pretty good sized trapper collection. Here's a stag trapper from Steel Warrior. This is a frost piece. Look at that stag on there. I love stag. I'm slowly but surely growing my collection. This one has half stops. Um, made in China, 440 stainless. But just beautiful stag, and that is definitely one of my growing collections. I bought a box of 61 stag fixed blade knives that I showed, and I took some time and showed them differently. So that is definitely fixed blades are definitely a huge part of my collection. But I love the stag. And shoot, while we're talking about fixed blades, give me a second. I got to take a drink. I'm sorry. Drinking some iced tea today. While we're talking about fixed blades, I'll go into this next fixed blade I have here. This is a Smith & Wesson. Beautiful sheath, beautifully done. Love the way the sheath goes here. Pull that out. This is a limited issue. This is the Smith & Wesson Texas Hold'em buoy. For those of you that know, this is a pretty well sought after knife. Very well made. I was able to pick one up at a decent price, so I did. Look at that blade stock. That is just beautiful. Oh man, I love my bowie knives. Love them. Man, Patty, this was a hard one for me, Steven. It really, 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 really was, man. I mean, my collecting style, I'm like all over the friggin' place. But I do enjoy it and I appreciate it. And I like big knives, like I said. So let's go into the folding hunters here. This is an inexpensive folding hunter that I picked up. It's classic folding hunter, 2 blade. I toasted the bone better, lubed her up good. Man, she is this, in my opinion, beautiful piece of cutlery. Inexpensive piece, but still good. Again, that comes in my inexpensive budget knives. But been carrying this for a couple days in that first big sheath I made, or slip I made. Then you got this is going up in quality a little bit. Big knife, Ranch Boss 2 from Cold Steel. This kind of kicks into modern, but also a big folding hunter. It has a liner lock, Cold Steel. This is SK5. Um, Again, you can see there is a pattern there that I like. This is more in the modern style here, but it's still a big folding hunter. And while we're on folding hunters, let's go to this beautiful case I believe this is black synthetic, if I'm recalling right. Folding Hunter, absolutely beautiful piece. This is a 7 dot, so it's a 2023. Oh, just absolutely beautiful. You know, a two-bladed Folding Hunter from Case. Oh, look at that. USA 2295 stainless steel. I think that tank stamp's upside down. It might not be, I don't know. But just beautiful piece, you know. Yeah, big, again, big, large Folding Hunters. I love them. Well, let's move on to here. This is Rosecraft. This is the Beaver Creek Barlow. I really like Barlows. And, you know, this is more of a upper end modern. You're going to pay, you know, right around 60 to 70 some dollars for one of these. These are extremely well built, half stop. Um, I have grown. When these first came out, I wasn't too sure how I liked them. But man, you know, I am definitely a Rough Rider fanboy. Do not get me wrong. I love Rough Riders for their lower, you know, lower price knives, and their Rough Rider Reserve series is beautiful too. They're very comparable to these. But for fit and finish for a sub $100 knife, you're not going to beat Rosecraft. You're not. I should have brought out one of my Jack Wolves too. You know, a little bit more money. Absolutely beautiful knives. I should have brought one of those out. I only have a couple of them. Oh, still got the China sticker on there. This is a second also. I got to get rid of that. This is also a second. You can tell that back when the first run, they had put that divot into the tang there. You can see it. Come on, camera. Play nice. You can see it right there, right above the. Yeah, you can see it. But yeah, just an absolutely beautiful piece. Um, yeah, I love the. There goes a really loud Harley. Might be a couple of them. A herd of Harleys. I love motorcycles, but man, I am a quarter, I'm an eighth of a mile off the highway with trees, and some of them are just too loud. I know a lot of bikers will be mad at me for saying that, but it's how I feel. Speaking of Rough Riders, that gives me a nice little leeway over here to these little itty bitty, and like I said, unique pieces. This is the Rough Rider Baby Bee. I love these little things, little liner lock moderns. they're just they're just so cool. And they don't cost a lot. You know, here's the little tadpole. It's green micarta striped. Just fun little pieces, you know, that are just fun to play with and have a little fun with. And you know, like I said, I'm all over the place. And then we got modern knives, you know, just straight up moderns. Got here a Ganzo I just got in. I wanted to pick it up. It's really inexpensive, like the Jag. I'm going to be sharing more of this, but there's the 8CR14. I'm going to be sharing more of this later, probably tomorrow on my, you know, Modern Monday Madness. This is a pretty decent knife. I'm not going to get into it too much, but you know, I really enjoy modern knives. You know, whether they're assisted or unassisted, I like them. You know, there's just something cool about them to me. And then with my channel, you got to have your whiz bangers, okay? And this is kind of a light leeway into it. This is an Elite Edge. This is a modern take on a stiletto type knife. Beautiful knife, though. Assisted opening. But this would definitely be, you know, as I call them whiz bangers, a gas station knife. Even though it's very well made, you know, um, it's still a gas station knife. And it's a modern style. And you know what? I'd carry this any given day. It's not a bad piece, you know. I'd carry it. In fact, I have, you know. So I like my modern knives too. So that continues my moderns, and then going into whiz bangs. Here's my whiz bang. This is definitely a gas station knife. Look at that. Elite edge again. Relatively well made. You can feel the handle's kind of chintzy. The blade's probably says 420C. Definitely made in China. But you know what? They're fun. They're fun to just play around with. Would I depend my life on it? Probably not. But if it's the only thing I have, I bet it'd get me out of a jam. It's sharp. It'll cut paper really well. I don't know how long it'll stay sharp. I've never tasted, tested the heat treat. But on my channel, you got to have your whiz bangers. That's just something I like. I don't know why. Um, Maybe it's because as a kid I didn't have enough money to pick up, and they didn't have this style of whiz bangers when I was a kid. It's slightly different. They didn't have the assisted and stuff. I didn't have the money as my choice of either. I got, this is a buck 110, but I'd get a Pakistani clone of it, or I'd get something. And back then these were cooler, so I got it. So yeah, but like I said on my channel, you got to have your whiz bangers. You know. So yeah, what's my collecting style? I wish I knew. It's it's all over the place. I don't know what my collecting style is. Like I was saying yesterday in that one video, it's kind of eclectic. I like a little bit of everything. I like the oddball patterns. And I shouldn't say oddball, but Choctaw. It's pretty much uh, Frost Cutlery anymore. It used to be Parker Frost had some, but again, that was a Frost was involved. Um, I love the Frost wood, and again, unique pattern here. The finger grooves on a lockback. I enjoy my budget knives, these here and this one, you know. Um, I really like my large folding hunters, love my trappers. My biggest collection is of trap. Well, no, it's fixed blades, but then it's of trappers when you come into folding knives. Absolutely love trappers. I'll have to share that someday. I love my American made knives, my case knives. I have a pretty decent case knife collection I have to share. I love my buck knives, American made. I have a good buck knife collection I need to share. I'm working on picking up some English made knives. I'm going to be putting in an order with A. Wright and Son here shortly. Um, I've been on their website looking at things. I need to try and make a phone call. That's probably going to cost me an arm and a leg. I don't know. Maybe with cell phones, it's not so bad to talk to them a little bit. I'd like to order like maybe 5 to 10 knives at one shot so that it's shipping's not getting me every time. It's just one big lot coming in. So yeah, what is my collecting style? It has matured because it used to just be basically um whiz bang knives. I definitely enjoyed moderns, and it was just large folding hunters. Then I discovered trappers. I really fell in love with, well, actually I discovered trappers years ago, but I discovered how many trapper combinations there are because it is like the most sold knife pattern, because so many people, there's so many of them, and there's so many designs of them, and so it's really cool to get different handle materials, different bolster materials, heck, even different blade combinations. You can get Warncliffs, you can get for your secondary and everything, and so that's cool. I really love my fixed blades. I'm working on my Rambo knife collection, trying to get it to be nicer than this the inexpensive Chinese made stuff. I mean, this one, I was really surprised how well it held up when chopping. I got to clean the blade though now. So I should have done that before I put it away last time. So it's just, yeah, I guess it's eclectic, because I mean, you go from this stage to this, and I think these are just cool. They're just fun to play around with. So yeah, it's definitely eclectic. Um, Either that or I don't have a style and I'm just a nut. That might be the most honest opinion there. But yeah, I enjoy collecting. I enjoy the knives. I see knives not only as tools, but as pieces of art also. I mean, look at that. That's absolutely gorgeous. Then when you look at the fit and finish and the build, That's just absolutely gorgeous. Even this just simple, that's beautiful. They're working pieces of art. You know, I just yeah. I mean, some people might say, "Well, Bowie's not a piece of art." Well, yeah, it is, man. Look at that. Look at the lines on that thing. Look how beautiful it is. That's just beautiful. The inlaid brass there, just absolutely beautiful. Well, the Rambo knife's not art. Yeah, yeah, it is. Look at the way the blade's made. Look at the separated sawtooth there. So there's a line, so it's separated down the middle so that it spits out the wood chips and stuff better. You got a Phillips screwdriver here, standard screwdriver there, lanyard hole here and here. You got a unscrew or survival kit. You got a wrapped handle. How is that not art? I mean, when that was first made, when Lyle was it Lyle? Yeah, I think it was Lyle when he first made it. What a mind to come up with that! And I'm sure it was a collaboration between Stallone and Lyle, for the build the knife. But it's just art, you know. And I'm a person that I suck at art. I can't draw anything really. I got to get a drink. Excuse me. Getting marble mouth, as HT calls it. I can't really draw anything. I mean, the only thing I draw is flies in the summer because I stink. Um, but these are art, and it's just even the inexpensive knife here. I mean, the whiz banger, it's art. Look how well put together it is. Look how it's thought out. You know, uh, it's simpler art, but it's still art. You know, yeah. I'm not sure what my collection style is there, Steven. Um, I'm gonna say eclectic is the nice way, chaotic, screwballish. I'm not sure. I just know that I enjoy cutlery. I enjoy looking at them. I don't want to say playing with them because I don't really play with them, but I enjoy taking them out and utilizing them. I'll sometimes sit down with like my case of trappers, which is a big um, case, one of those cases from a Harbor Freight that I've taken out the pulled in styrofoam that you can and picked it out and made it for probably got 80 to 90 trappers in there, and I got more I got to add. I'm out of room in that one. Um, I'll just take them out and sit there with my sunshine cloth and polish them up, and everyone look at them and play. When I say play with them, that's what I mean. There, it'd be like polishing up with the sunshine cloth, and then got to get the blades out to clean them up, and of course, then I got to look at them and check them out. How absolutely build quality and how cool that stag looks. If this is the one I'm working on, oh, then I got to get the spay blade out, and I got to look at that, check that all out, and look how beautiful that is, and clean that all up, and then put that back in, and yeah, I mean, it's just it's enjoyable. It's for me, it's relaxation. It's like doing these videos. I was allowing YouTube videos to stress me out because I felt like I had to do certain things at certain times. Now the only I have to do is just purely my own I have to do. It's not because anybody's forcing me to do it. It's because I want to do it. I want to share this stuff. And Stephen, thank you for this interesting question. What is your collecting style? Like I said, it made me think. I sat down and I was like, man, one thing I can definitely say is my English made knives is lacking horribly. I don't think I even have one, but I do want to get some A rights because I can get them online. And I might actually even reach out to you, Stephen, and see who you recommend. Above and beyond Ashley Wright. Um, my biggest fear with the English made knives is your guys's pulls are so up there, and my thumbnails suck, and my hands I can't really feel them too well. But you know what? Still won't stop me from enjoying the knives. I'll use one of those little picks to, the thing that helps you open them up to get them open because I want to enjoy that craftsmanship that the English knife cutlers are known for. I do have some Seki City Japan knives. So I've seen Seki City, you know, stuff. Oh man, I should have brought a sword up. I forgot about swords. I don't have any really expensive swords, but I got a couple neat swords. I don't collect them as heavily as I used to, but they're still cool pieces. They're awesome display pieces. Some of my swords are display pieces, and then I got a couple that are real. You could go like hurt somebody with them. you know, but yeah, just yeah, I guess my collecting style is eclectic. I like what I like. I enjoy what I enjoy. Man, I've been babbling for 26 minutes. Well, if you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate you. Please definitely hit that like button. If you're not subscribed already, down at the lower, usually like right here somewhere, there'll be a little YouTube thing. You can subscribe if you click on it. Um, yeah. Thanks for watching and spending this time with me. I truly do appreciate it. With that being said, live long, prosper, and collect your own way.